to talk about Representative Brian Mast. Now, he's from Florida, and he represents Florida's 18th congressional district. And this came up yesterday. It was everywhere yesterday. I didn't have time to get to it, but I wanted to make sure that I got to it today. I want to remind everybody that Representative Mast lost both of his legs in 2010 in Afghanistan. He stepped on an IED. He would clear IEDs for other troops, and he was in Kandahar in September of 2010, and he stepped in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it resulted in both of his legs being amputated, okay? So he's a veteran. He's a war hero. He is a Republican, and as I've said before, when it comes to Soleimani, everybody who served in Iraq, I have not run into even one person yet. Everybody who served in Iraq wanted Soleimani dead because of what he was doing. Now, Mast is a representative. He served in Afghanistan, but he's in this hearing in the House, and this is the hearing with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and he used his time to ask a very simple question. Can you cue up my audio, please, Joe? So this is Representative Mast, again, Brian Mast from Florida. He's asking a question of all of the people out there critical of Donald Trump's decision to kill Soleimani, and he asks a very simple question. He waits for the answer. I want you to listen to this exchange.
Consider that if you leave that there, walk around it, ignore it, that somebody else is going to come across that nest eventually, and they're going to get shot at. You want to ask, is it wise? Well, I think it probably always defies conventional wisdom to go out there and attack a machine gun nest. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be done. And then you want to ask, is it imminent? Well, just because this machine gun nest might be taking a moment to reload, that doesn't mean that it's not an imminent threat. It just got done firing rounds over at our embassy. Over the last number of years, it had been working to attack our service members time and time again. Just because it was taking a breather to reload, that didn't mean it wasn't an imminent threat because it wasn't literally pushing the button on something. Now I want to ask a question. Some people might call this rhetorical, but I'm not going to ask it as rhetorical. There's a number of my colleagues still remaining here. I am more than willing to yield to any of my colleagues that want to answer this question. If you walk out this hallway and you take a right and another right and another right, you're going to come to several beautiful walls that have the names of our fallen service members from the War on Terror. And I would ask, can any of you provide me one name on that wall that doesn't justify killing Soleimani? I got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll be more than happy to sit here and wait. Somebody provide me with a name on that wall that does not justify his killing.
He's sitting back in his chair. There's people whispering.
Well, the gentleman may continue.
I'm continuing, Mr. Chairman. I got 2 minutes remaining. I will sit here and wait for somebody to provide me with a name on that wall that does not justify the killing of Soleimani.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Mast. I think you've made your point. Mr. Phillips.
Mr. Chairman, I have not yielded back my time, and I still have a minute and 45 seconds
You're disrupting the procedures
I will not
right now.
yield back my time, Mr. Chairman.
You're disrupting
I
the
have a
procedures,
minute and
Mr.
45
Mast.
seconds remaining, of which I would like to wait for somebody to provide me with a name of somebody on our memorial wall who does
You're out
not
of order, Mr.
justify
Mast.
the killing of Soleimani.
You are out of order.
I will not yield
You
back
are out
my
of
time.
order, Mr. Mast.
I will not yield back my time. I am not out of order.
Mr.
You are
Chair,
out of
I'll
order,
yield a
Mr.
minute.
Chairman, for reclaiming this time.
Mr. Chair, I'll yield a minute of my time to Mr. Mast.
Oh, he's got time.
Thank you. Thank you, my
So the
colleague.
chair just
I
admitted that
appreciate it.
Representative Mast had time. Yeah, we know. Mast just sitting there. He's just waiting. So now everybody's just going to start chit-chatting and talking and doing whatever they want to do. Now, I don't need to let you listen to the next minute and a half of this. Representative Mast is making a point. Soleimani is responsible for 17% of the fatalities of American troops in Iraq, and he's responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of more injuries in Iraq. And so Mast's point is, can you go out on any of these walls that are out there? And can you tell me which one of the names on those walls of our people that we lost over there doesn't justify killing this guy? He killed us. We can kill him. More coming up. 95.3 MNC.